31st of great matchups. We got all the highlights coming your way. We'll have some Super Bowl guests before it's all over. Got a very special Nido Saturday night with Cirque du Soleil here. A lot of stuff going on. And we had the reserves announced in our pregame.
Can we have a basketball discussion before we get to the highlights?
I thought you said we were on the shot clock.
No. Ernie, remember last week we had a good basketball discussion. Who was the most important player? We're talking about between like Klay Thompson and DeMarcus, and we're saying like, you saw tonight what the Warriors missed when they don't have Klay Thompson, because you see that Kevin, because you can't leave Klay, so he's the guy who does most of the spacing.
Okay, so rank them in order. Most important players.
Steph, KD, Klay,
right,
and two other guys that can get out the stands.
Golden State was 11 for 38 from three. 10 of those threes came from Steph Curry.
I know, seriously.
What was your major takeaway, Kenny, from this game?
Well, I think overall, you know, Philadelphia has a style of play, a unique style that's going to be, they play both inside and they will do multifaceted. So they'll go inside and they'll go outside. They're one of the few teams in the league that have learned how to blend that well. That was a difference. Golden State got loose with the ball. And then Steph Curry did some uncharacteristic things, and all of a sudden it's a different basketball game, and typically that doesn't happen.
And to hear Steve Kerr in his interview after the third quarter, after they got outscored 42-26, and in the huddle, saying it's almost like Philadelphia took Golden State out of its character, out of its game, made it a street ball kind of game, and he was begging his guys to get back into doing what they do well.
Well, I don't think they can do what they do well without Klay. So from the Golden State standpoint, I don't think anything about this game. He's not there. They're not the same team. But you guys, we were talking earlier about who's the best team in the East. I got no idea. But I will tell you this. I told you this 2 weeks ago. You look at Toronto. They got Kawhi Leonard. The Sixers probably going to have the next three best players in that series. You take Milwaukee, Greek Freak, probably the best player. Philly's got the next three best players. You take Kyrie, Philly's got the next three best players.
So does that translate into Philadelphia as the best team in the East?
I don't know the answer to that question, because I thought they would be right there. I thought they'd be first or second. And they're not right now, but I thought they would be first or second.
They're not right now, but they played with a lot of poise tonight. Again, me and you had the argument about Brett should call a timeout. He didn't call a timeout. He allowed the guys to grow up and play through it. This is the first time I've seen them not panic in certain situations. A lot of times you see them take ill-advised shots, but they were smart enough to, when they had the lead, run out the clock, and they played some smart basketball tonight. This right here should be a big reward for them. They should go look at the tape and realize and say, hey, I know they didn't have Klay, but they still got four other guys that could play. We beat them if we play this way. So they should take that, sauce it up, and memorize that way.
I love the way Joel Embiid plays. I love it when he plays that way inside and
Ernie.
I mean, because he's so thick through the hips and the butt, and he uses all that and creates space. Man, he's a handful.
Ernie, he drives me crazy at times, because I get so mad when he goes out there and shoot threes.
I always say this. 2 for 1 is great at the end of the first, second, third quarter. In the fourth quarter, you get the best available shot because you're trying to win the game. You're not worrying about the statistical outcome. And now, again, you have a bad shot, which leads to a bad foul, which leads to now you really don't have a 2 for 1 anymore.
And you think that's a play to Luke Colt?
Thank you.
I hope not.
First of all, he didn't.
Why don't you just say
Luke Walton did not call a play for last Stephen to shoot a three.
The reason I don't know is because we know it's a 2 for 1 situation, and then Ernie
that wasn't a two.
He just shoots a 2 for 1.
As I always said, there's a reason we play basketball and we ain't doctors and lawyers.
No one's shocked that he took that shot. So for me, it wasn't maybe not the play, but we were going for 2 for 1. That's what it looked like.